Hello, everyone. I just want to say hello and welcome to Sunday morning. We are on, I think, June 11th. And I just wanted you guys to know I thank you guys. I thank you for every one of you that have been sharing the content. I thank you for everyone that has been liking the content. It's because of you guys that we continue to provide content. So we just want to give a major shout out to you guys. And then a major shout out to Crystal Ward for being an amazing videographer, such a willing vessel for the glory of God and for the things of God. So today we want to jump in and say, don't give up. I recall every season in my life that I was about to be elevated to a new level, that things got so hard that I just wanted to drop it. Okay, so let me talk about when I went to Job Corps. I was in Job Corps with 2 cars and a home and a house that I was, paying rent and everything like that at, with 2 children. And I remember, you guys, that literally a few weeks before I got my diploma and my trade, I ended up getting the call that my children was dropped out of childcare. And at that very moment, I was like, Lord, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know how I'm gonna move forward. I just don't know. Everything in my life just started kind of down spiraling, right? Everything started to seem as if this next level wasn't gonna come. And it was really just a tactic of the enemy to make me feel as if God wasn't about to take me to a new season. Okay, so now in that time where the enemy meant it for bad, God meant it for good. At the time, my child's father was like, "Hey, don't drop out. They need to know that you could complete anything you set your mind to. I'll watch them for you." And so for 2 whole weeks, now I didn't know how long I had left. I had no clue. You don't know how long you're going to be in this journey. You don't know how long you're going to be in this long suffering. I don't know how long I'm going to be in this pain. You don't know how long you're going to be in the grief. We just don't know, right? But when we keep going, eventually we find out. So I ended up going to school for about 2.5, maybe 2 weeks. And when I went, they said, "Oh, Talitha, you're about to graduate." Okay, you guys. Now at this point, I wasn't all the way in the will of God. I was not even in church at the time. But I remember almost getting into a fight with somebody at Job Corps, and literally did not know, once again, I was about to graduate, no clue. And all I had was a couple more credits to gain before I walked away with all of my credentials. And so I remember that I was able to calm myself down, but I lost my opportunity to walk the stage. Okay? They told me I did it. I was able to graduate, but I could not walk the stage, okay, you guys? And so eventually I obtained what I set out to obtain. But I need you to know, right, that things get rough at the cusp of you moving into a different season. But when I got my associate's degree, somewhat of the same thing happened. It was the last semester. I had almost all the math left to do, and my father went really ill with COVID. He ended up getting put into the hospital and almost dying. I had become his power of attorney to be his voice and everything of that nature. And while also my children were at home because the schools had sent them home with tablets. So now I'm homeschooling 5 children, and I'm also trying to help out with my dad while also trying to make sure I'm meeting deadlines, right? It was so hard, you guys. And there was moments where I wanted to just drop everything, right? Those moments where you go to the grocery store and you got all of this stuff, and then you realize when you get home that all of these bags is yours, and you got to take every last one of them in, and you try to take as many as you can in both hands, and you walk up to the door, and at that moment you realize you just can't take it anymore, so you drop it. That's where somebody is right now. That's where somebody is right now. But if you are overwhelmed, what I need you to do is drop those bags, unlock the door to your home, go in, grab a couple of bags, just do everything slowly. Don't quit. Do everything slowly. Eventually, what ended up happening is I started trying to meet deadlines, and I got all of my deadlines met. And then I graduated, but I still had one more class. But that one more class was math. Okay, if this wasn't an obstacle for me, then I don't know what is. Okay, Other ones of my friends dropped out right when everything got online. They was like, I can't do this. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna go ahead and move on. But see, I practiced as much resilience as I could. I can do this. Talitha, you can do this. And no matter what life throws at you, because life is always throwing a curveball at you, will you pick up that ball and will you throw it back, or will you walk away and just be like, I don't have time for it? I picked up the ball. And while I was picking up the ball, I accidentally walked into my new season and ended up walking the stage for the first time and graduated with my associate's degree in art. And so I want you to know that right now, and this is just with anything, whenever you're about to get a blessing, a car, clothes on a house, whatever it is an obstacle in front of it trying to prevent you from getting what God has for you. And I want you to know that if you're strong enough, you will press through and say, no, God has something for me, and devil, you can't take it. And I pray to God you understand how strong you are. Somebody is saying, oh, I really do feel too weak. See, the thing about feeling weak is, right, when you go around other people that are weak, you realize you're stronger than what you know. You realize when you're able to pour into somebody else, when you're hurting, that you're not as weak as you thought you were. And so if you just keep pressing, if you just keep acting, if you just keep doing, if you just keep loving, you're going to realize that eventually you walk right into not only your strength, but you walk into your new season. I want you to know that you are loved, that you are appreciated, that you are cherished, and that you deserve this next season. A lot of us have went through some things. A lot of us have been through some brokenness. A lot of us have lost a lot of family and a lot of friends and a lot of people that are near and dear to our heart. A lot of us have went through some things. But if we stop and let grief hold us back, if we let grief to cause us to go into a deep, dark depression, how will we ever get to the bright things that God has in store for us? How will we ever get to the place that God really had for us? All of our hurt, all of our pain, all of our grief, all of our mourning, all of these distractions will all make sense once we get to the place that God wants us to be. Yeah, I'm not talking about BP. I'm not talking about Sunfresh. I'm talking about God has some things that eye have not seen and that ear hath not heard, neither is entered into the heart of any man. The things that God prepares for those who love him. Some amazing things. It hasn't entered into any heart on this earth. As smart as we are, as capable as everyone is, as many things as people has created, it is not entered into the heart of any man the things that God prepares for those who love him. Are you willing to go after what God has in store for you? Or are you willing to let life throw a curveball and you walk away and say, I don't want to play today? Life is always going to life. But you need to remember that we are resilient. That no matter how much things are thrown at us, we're going to make the best out of it. And we're going to adjust, adapt. We're going to be okay. And you better let somebody know in your life right now that's looking at you like, girl, you ain't getting back up. Hey, I'm going to get back up. I'm going to survive. I'm going to be all right. I'm going to make it. I don't think you understand. I'm going to get where I'm going. Just because you don't support me doesn't mean I ain't going where I'm supposed to be going. Just because you don't want to like nothing doesn't mean God isn't taking me where he wants to take me. Just because you don't share nothing doesn't mean that God isn't going to take me where God wants to take me. And you have to let somebody know, those small-time business owners out there, just because they don't come and spend their money with you and they rather go to Macy's and they rather go to Gordon's, doesn't mean that God still ain't going to take you where he wants to take you. Shout out to Mimi's Boutique shirt and our belt. I got an amazing purse that I purchased from her. Shout out to her. But I just want you to know that no matter who supports you, if God be for you, who can be against you? God bless.